The scene shifted to Area 4 of Huada. Qinglong stood at the center of the storm, his hand clenched, a biting cold aura radiating around him. His gaze sharp as a blade, fixed on Yi. A single look was enough to leave others gasping before that towering presence. The traces left by the 30-meter-long blade looked horrifying from above. Yet with a single strike he had halted it all. The spot where he stood remained intact while the floor around it sank deeply. Yi observed and spoke calmly. Compared to my 2-law 3 blades, Senior Qinglong's fist technique is indeed simple yet supremely powerful. A cold gleam flashed in his eyes as he looked at the master before him with admiring respect. As expected of a national peak, Senior Qinglong was wholly different from my master Gongku, who always attacked weaknesses to break an opponent. Qinglong instead chose a frontal confrontation, using pure strength to crush his foes. This is the way of a breaker of all methods, a force that can pierce any barrier. Qinglong now focused to an extreme, his fist spiraling within the fierce light. A low, hoarse voice rang out, saturated with killing intent. Quan the Gwyn, as the massive surge of energy rushed forward. He widened his eyes, a shiver running through him. In that brief instant, Qinglong's iron-hard fist descended. The pressure it unleashed made the space tremble and whirlwinds scream violently. At Yi's position, a blinding white light obscured the surroundings. He almost had no time to react. The body fell freely, motionless in midair. Qinglong watched the sight, his expression shifting as his voice rang out. Damn it, this kid, for the sake of a win or loss dares to use forbidden techniques. Isn't he afraid of causing serious consequences? Qinglong's face paled and he blurted out anxiously. If a future National Pillars Martial Foundation is injured, it will be a huge problem. He stomped his foot hard, his figure shot upward, reaching out to catch the falling Yi and trying to shield him from harm. As he pulled Yi into his arms, he felt a sudden, powerful force clamp tight and make him falter, then heard a half-mocking, half-playful voice. Heh, Mr. Qinglong, you've already taken more than half a step back. I win. Yi's face flushed. Qinglong was choked up, both angry and astonished, thinking to himself, it actually fooled me. He used blood concealment to draw blood and create an illusion to deceive the senses, then combined it with moon concealment to weaken my strength. He could only sigh, close his eyes and admit. This kid is not only skilled in combat but also sharp-minded, with deep and unpredictable schemes. Finally, Qinglong lowered himself to the ground and stood facing him, his voice steady and low. You won. Speak. What do you want? Yi replied at once. Mr. Qinglong, regarding your promise, I want to keep it for now. Qinglong nodded slightly in approval and praised. Well done, thinking long-term. Not bad. He took a deep breath and then slowly instructed Yi, your killing intent and martial principles have reached a certain level. Gongku's teaching isn't bad, but something is still missing. Having only killing intent without a strong physical foundation won't let you realize your full power. The body is the root of martial authority. Hearing this, Yi scratched his head and smiled. You mean I should train my physique more, right? He thought to himself, Senior Qinglong, I haven't even used the Emperor Godzilla form yet. Qinglong folded his arms, looking stern yet composed, and spoke in a grave voice. Yes, but the important thing is to train with someone strong enough. Your body's fundamentals must be guided by a master, so you don't go down the wrong path. Upon hearing that, Yi brightened, squeezed his biceps, and replied cheerfully. I understand. Tomorrow I'll ask the Dean of the Physical Cultivation Academy for instruction. I hope to receive special training in strength. Seeing his naive expression, Qinglong could only grind his teeth inwardly. Good heavens! I hinted so clearly and he still doesn't get it. How could he be clever a moment ago and so stupid now? After waiting and seeing that he still hadn't grasped the hint. Qinglong closed his eyes slightly and sighed inwardly. Ha! I am Qinglong. I've never proactively taken a disciple before, but this kid really is a rare seed. He pulled a gleaming metal badge from his coat and handed it to Yi, his expression solemn as he warned him. Within this badge is hidden an extremely powerful body cultivation technique. Years ago I killed a formidable Westerner and took it from him. I heard it is their national martial treasure. Now I give it to you, focus on your practice and may you soon attain comprehension. He was overjoyed the moment he received it. Qing Long turned his head away and watched in silence, calculating inwardly. Humph, this technique is not easy to cultivate. The space martial fate method was originally a Western legacy and resists acceptance by Eastern people. Back then I had to wait until I reached the master level and use my own martial force to break the rules to seize the transmission. Now that I've handed it to this kid, he'll probably fail a couple of times and then come back to find me. I'll teach him personally then, effectively making him my disciple. Waiting for that opportunity will be enough. While he was still scheming, he had already bowed repeatedly in thanks, his eyes full of excitement. Scene shifts to He's dormitory room, 42FA3. He had just finished showering. Holding a towel to his still wet hair, he suddenly remembered the badge he had received. He took it out to inspect it, muttering to himself, "It's funny. I've been at the Imperial University for over half a year, always following Master Gong Ku down into the underground passages, so I haven't actually spent much time in this dorm. I wonder if this martial art has to be practiced in sleep like the sleep cultivation method." No sooner had he finished speaking than the doorbell rang. Ting tong. He turned around, surprised. Who could be here at this hour, still shirtless on top? He asked as he stepped out to open the door. Standing at the door was an acquaintance, Ouyang Zhai. His hair dyed pink and his expression cold. He looked at him and gave a slight nod. May I come in?" He slowly recognized him. "You're Ouyang Zhai, right? Come in." Although he appeared calm on the outside, he felt a flicker of doubt inside. What is he here for this time? Could he still be trying to drag me into that group? Suddenly Ouyang Zhai's expression shifted. His face grew complicated, his body trembled, and an inscrutable light flashed in his eyes. As he turned, he abruptly dropped to his knees, tears welling as he cried out in a trembling voice. It was too crowded out there earlier, so I couldn't. Now that I'm inside, I beg you, please accept the position of chairman of the Long Huyet Society." It turned out to involve the Long Huyet Society, the organization he had once flatly refused. He frowned, his voice lowering. "Ouyang Zhai, long time no see. How did you end up like this? Where's the fighting spirit you had to take on the local Hoa Du students? And how did you know I had returned to the dorm?" Ouyang Zhai's tears streamed down. His hand still gripped the only towel covering his lower body. He choked out in response. "Someone in the Long Huyet Society saw you return, so I rushed over here to beg you." At that, his gaze suddenly went cold and his voice deepened. "You secretly installed cameras to monitor me?" Without waiting for Ouyang Zhai to react, he grabbed his collar and dragged him straight into the next room, each heavy step making the floorboards creak. "Move, practice a little," he said tersely. His body coiled as if ready to strike at any moment. Ouyang Zhai panicked and raised his hands, pleading, Listen to me. We didn't set up in your room, only in the corridor. It was unavoidable. We meant no harm." After a moment he was lying flat on the floor, gasping and with no strength left to fight back. He had just beaten him and now looked down calmly, asking, "Now tell me, why did you come to me to ask me to be the association president? What on earth happened to your Long Huyet Society?" Ouyang Zhai's face was swollen and bruised all over, blood seeping from the corners of his mouth and his nostrils. His speech was broken and barely audible. Seeing him like that, he let out a soft sigh, took a pill from his person and placed it in front of him. "I was a bit heavy-handed just now. Take this blood recovery pill, then tell me everything clearly." After swallowing it, Ouyang Zhai's circulation quickly resumed and his injuries visibly eased. He sat up, took a deep breath, and then, his voice trembling, said, The Long Huyet Society is about to collapse. I came to beg for your help. At Huada, students are allowed to form societies, but if they don't achieve notable results, the school will cut all operating funds." He paused for a moment and then continued, his voice tinged with anguish. "When the Long Huyet Society was first founded, the reserve trainees program in the imperial capital hadn't even finished. At that time our society was like the midday sun, unrivaled. We received generous sponsorship from the major martial associations. Thanks to the welfare packages and preferential commercial rights I negotiated, membership grew rapidly and resources kept pouring in. The organization flourished, and everyone thought the Long Huyet Society would become Huada's largest student power. But then his expression suddenly darkened and his voice trembled, his eyes revealing bitterness. Then the student association established by the locals of Hoadu began to crack down on us. Under Xiang Jianzhuang's leadership they kept striking, causing the society to fail again and again. Finances plunged, sponsors withdrew, benefits were shut down, internal chaos ensued and people fled. No one wanted to join a dying organization anymore. Yi's first reaction was to lift a hand to his chin. His gaze was thoughtful as he looked at him, his voice a little weary. So that's it, in the end you were crushed by that Xiang Jianzhuang, weren't you?